Hello and good morning again. Miss Cleveland here with Module 2, and I did some research to find different teaching strategies or best practices, and then I'll reflect on about a handful of the ones that I feel I can use in my drafting classroom. To start, I want to talk about grade as you go. It'll have to be a little different than a normal setting classroom where you fill in the blank and answer questions or do that stuff, but as for myself, I do grade as you go by walking around the classroom and just looking over the students' shoulders and seeing how they're drafting on their AutoCAD on the computer. Whether their construction is correct. If I see a line that looks off, I will let them know. I remind them when I see them about to print about line weights and making sure they have their stuff correct. So that's my grade as you go. I think it helps students because it makes them cautious and conscious of what they're about to print and making sure everything's correct. That also helps students know that I'm going around and making sure that their stuff is correct. I think it makes me a better teacher to see if they can take what they learned in lectures and put it onto the computer by themselves. I also want to talk about mini lectures because I have a lot of freshmen and I know that their attention span is not very large, and so I try to keep my lectures 10 minutes at max. That includes like having them take notes and stuff like that, so that way they can take their notes in their little lecture that they get to see what I did on my screen and take it back to their computer so they can stay focused. That way they don't also hear me talk as much. And then I like to implement I do, we do, and you do. This is actually the one that I've liked the most, and I've implemented this the last probably 4 lectures that I've done. It keeps the lectures short and it makes them take notes. It helps in the drafting classroom because it has me do exactly what they're going to do while they're taking notes, and then I have them go to their computers and do the AutoCAD step by step with me. So then that's the we do part. And then they can also use their notes to help them if they get a little lost, and it's usually pretty slow. And then the you do. So then they'll get another assignment that is pretty much exactly the same as we just did, but it has different objects to draw instead of doing the same object, but it has the same concepts. Um, Another one I would like to try to implement in my classroom would be reflection and response pyramids because that'll help me see what the kids may already know about a section we're about to start, and then it'll also show me what they learned the most and where I hit the most on key points, but it'll also show me where I lacked teaching. So I can change that for the next time or even the next lecture over the same stuff, just maybe a different object. Um, the KWL charts were one I thought I could implement, and I think it'll be helpful to see kind of where the students want to go with the class more than just where I want to take the students with the class, because I think I get stuck in teaching curriculum because I have so much that is industry based that I have to cover, and I have to make sure they know that I get lost of what the students may be interested in. The next question about question design to determine length of questions you are using. After I gave the lecture I was really keying on for this module, I realized how little of depth questions I have. Most of them come with like a fill in the blank style where I'm just looking for that one word or command that we've been learning on AutoCAD when I'm talking. So I'm like, maybe um, to draw a line, I need to use what command, or like just stuff like that. And then I always make sure though I pause quite a while to make students finish their thoughts of their notes and then see if they may have any questions from myself. But other than that, I need to really work on my question depth. Maybe that'll help the students understand a little bit more. And then the final question, um, to examine your instructional strategies to determine how much choice and voice are given to students. And again, drafting is really hard because I have so many standards from industry I need to make sure I like hit with my students, because I don't I don't know right now, like maybe they're really thinking about going in that, and I want to make sure that they have a high school base level of that before moving on to college or even going out into industry. And then it's it's hard when you're drafting because you have so many set like points that you have to do, and then so right now we're doing point perspective, and really the only choices they get are the color of construction lines, some of their AutoCAD settings, and then that's about it. I gave them choices for numbers to draw, and so I need to work on choices too. So that's my module 2 for you.